She'll only come out at 9. Man and hungry tide. Let's go, you guys. How you doing? It is, Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. How you doing, Mad Hatter Nation? You guys ready to rock and roll? It is Wednesday, which means just a couple of downhills and a little bit of a slalom into the weekend before we get rip roaring and ready to rock and roll. We do have the Lions playing tomorrow. Of course, a incredibly huge matchup against the Cowboys, right? Kind of a do or die for both teams right now. And, we'll get ready for that. But first, we're going to take a look at the national news media. Yesterday, we did talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots, and a little bit, we went down a little bit of lacking individual on the field in the first quarter of the game. Giants rookie gives explicit non-answer about reason for latest benching. Abdul Carter still had a sack despite being benched. Can't keep him off, or you keep him off the field, but you can't stop the production. You understand why he went so high in this past year's draft. And then we're going to kick it on over. Well, it's time to focus. It is time to focus, hocus pocus, and we need to zero in on what the Lions can do and maybe have a couple of real sobering conversations on the reality of where the team is and what some changes need to be made, at least with the training staff, the medical team. Something is going on in Detroit where not only are our players routinely getting hurt, but we are seeing this stupid approach to putting the guys back before they're ready. Sam Laporte, I think, was smart. Shut him down. Get the surgery in and out of the way. If we had done that with TA, maybe we wouldn't be where we're at. But devastating Terrion Arnold injury update sheds an ugly truth on the Lions season. Shout out Sideline Report Candace Pedraza. Hopefully she's not going to be telling us that it was TPUSA that caused Terrion Arnold to get hurt. Hopefully we don't get some weird conspiracy theories about Sheila Ford having a dick. Then we're going to kick it over to Lions safety Kirby Joseph knee injury, quote, not considered career-altering despite the old Dr. Google and the internet sleuth. So I have a tie, and I went to college. Therefore, I am an expert. You must listen to what I say because I am an expert. Trust me, I've never looked at the individual. I've never had my hands on his knee, never talked to the guy. I just have little bits of data and information that I see on X. And since I'm such an expert, I can diagnose what's going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's never going to play football again. Shove it up your ass. The reality is, Kirby Joseph I think we just went about handling his knee injury wrong. Okay. I think we should have just shut him down right out of the rip. I told you guys. TA and Kirby both having knee injuries in the preseason. Training camp, I told you TA's shoulders was going to keep him out, but I told you that hamstring could have been a nagging problem. Kirby Joseph's knee going to be a nagging problem all season long. And look at where we're at now. Right, less than a year removed from him signing a massive contract extension, be it all team-friendly. There is some speculation that maybe Kirby's never going to be back the same to where he was a year ago, right? That's why I make the comparison. Are you going to be Ed Reed, or are you going to be Bob Sanders? Let's go, you guys. We're just going to keep taking the hits. Third verse, same as the first. Amon-Ra St. Brown, quote, doing better. But this is another day of practice. It is a little bit of a downer today, guys. Okay, that's why I'm such a uppity individual. I got my pleasantly blue shirt on. We're trying to blow all this smoke directly up your brown eye. Amon-Ra doing better, but misses another day of practice. Michael Colwander had this for us a little bit earlier this morning. We will talk about Amon-Ra's ankle injury. And then just on a little bit of a uptick note, we're going to kick it over to our guy, senior writer over at DetroitLions.com, Tim 2021, man. Practice notebook. He's fearless. Lions could continue to lean on our thumbnail boy, Jameson Williams. You guys, Mr. Detroit City, plug your ears. You're not going to like this one very much. You need to realize that J-Mo is stepping up. you seen it both in his production when Amon-Ra went down, right? He shouldered quite a bit of the receiving load. You also seen him telling guys where to be on the field, how to line up, where to go. You seen him taking on the responsibility of a matured veteran player, no longer flash in the pan, Mr. Rookie, Mr. High Flying out of Alabama, first-round pick. No. No longer are you Waymo. You are now Jameson Williams. Football player. Maybe he's been hanging out with Action Jack Campbell a little bit, you guys. I could not think of a poll to put up in the chat this morning for you guys, so I'm just going to go, what's up, Beantown? How you doing, brother? Just going to leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the chat. Tried to adjust the lighting a little bit, okay? So not so dim over here, a little bit lighter over here, though I do kind of like the ambiance. I actually thought about going back to my, I got some 1970s, amber tinted with gold frame glasses. I thought about kicking it back old school style. I feel like it's giving very that 70s show basement vibes with the lighting that we got going on. So I do kind of like the intimate feeling that we have going on here. Helps develop that parasocial relationship that we all are cultivating. You're cultivating with me, even though I'm an AI. I'm not a real person. I'm merely an always Indian inside the phone. Guys, if you could do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell so that you can be notified every single time we go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here at youtube.com. With plans to expand, we are kicking around the idea, and there's a little bit of a lead into you, kicking around the idea of also dual streaming to Kick. Hopefully, kind of wanted to work on Rumble a little bit. Haven't had success being able to dual stream into Rumble yet through OBS, but we are looking at still trying to figure out how to work that out, as well as expanding. I want to expand for the brand. Let's go Hat and Beard, Mad Hatter Nation. You guys share this around with all your friends. Like the video, and if you think about it later today, if you think this video is good enough, come on back to this bad boy. And pardon me while I snort into the microphone. And go ahead and drop me a hype goes a long way for little itty bitty content creators like me. We are 1 over 800, which means I do need to consider. And really, I said that at about 800. I was going to start seriously looking at Discord. And I'm thinking maybe we end up doing a Discord server. I don't really know yet because I don't know if I want to tie that into like channel memberships or something like that. But it's something to consider. So let me know if you like the new lighting, and let me know if you're on board with us dual streaming or some of that stuff. You guys, so I must have been diagnosed by Dr. Jill. Oh, Rick, you are a funny dude, man. I just see it as an opportunity for guys on the roster to maybe love it. I am not loving love it right now. I don't think the coaches are loving love it. That's why we've seen TK85 get the reps that he got. And I think that's more so maybe not the coaches per se. I mean, the talent with love it is there. I think it's the familiarity with Jared Goff. Before we dive too much into this, guys, let's go ahead and get through the intro and into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Jack 2125 says, hyped yesterday's show. You got to wait until the next day. And I kind of thought that was the case with the hypes. Especially with the live, you got to wait almost 24 hours. And I've noticed that with some other videos because I watch an obnoxious amount of YouTube. I listen to most of it, but so I get notifications all the time. And I've noticed that even like video formats, highly edited package deals, those take 8 to 9 hours till you can drop a hype on them. So it's just kind of if you think about it, this channel doesn't get a lot of hypes because I don't have what's called evergreen content, right? This is a daily live show. What you get every day is kind of what you get, so it is what it is. TK85 is TK85. He is who he'll always be, Mr. Reliable when called upon. And you guys know, us here at the Hat and Beard Show from Grandma Studio One. His name is not Tom Kennedy. No. It is Thumb Kennedy. And when people ask me why you call him Thumb Kennedy, it's because whenever I watch TK85, I'm always just like giving him one of these, dude. Like, good job, Thumb. You know what, dude? And 9 times out of 10, not only is he getting one of these, he's getting one of these too, dude. He's getting both barrels with a thumb. So that's why he's 2 thumbs up, Thumb Kennedy. Let's go, you guys. Let's talk about the national news segment. Get that out of the way so we can get on to our Lions. Giants rookie gives explicit non-answered about reasons for latest benching. The old benching. Mike Kafka trying to assert his dominance. Now, Abdul Carter, he might be placing a call to the mayor-elect there, Zoran Mandani, and being like, hey, buddy, can you help me out here? Just making some tongue-in-cheek jokes. Their jokes don't come for me. New York Giants rookie pass rusher Abdul Carter, and head coach Mike Kafka were deceptive when asked why the former Penn State standout was benched to start their game Monday night against the New England Patriots. Carter, who had already seen some of his playing time squandered because he missed a team meeting, didn't exactly go into detail after the game. Ish happens, Carter said when asked about the comment about his second benching in 3 weeks. I ain't going into detail. Ish happens, he responded when asked again. Carter didn't appear to like being asked a third time as he referred to the other 2 comments he made about it. He's very upset. Giants interim head coach. And probably, look, I'm just saying, I think there is a greater than non-chance that Mike Kafka ends up coaching his way into the head coaching job for the New York Giants. They're a dangerous team. And I'm not trying to glaze the old bald guy too much, but dude, Mike Kafka, he can coordinate a game offensively, and he's very blessed to have some talented young players on defense, and Brian Burns. Mike Kafka was also less than forthcoming about the reason to bench Carter. That was a coach's decision, my decision, Kafka said, adding it was based on how things were going during the week. He denied that it was any disciplinary reason. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of the way we worked with this week. Carter had 4 tackles and a sack, despite him missing the first 2 series of the game. The Giants lost the game 33-15 and started the first half down 30-7. Now, maybe that's the plan, though. Maybe that is maybe this is all smoke and mirrors, and their plan is to sneakily rotate Abdul Carter in there as a little flash in the pan. This is me, just with my tinfoil hat on. The Patriots had 395 total yards on offense and were 6 of 13 on third downs. New York has yet to win a game on the road, falling to 0-8 this season. And how close they were to almost getting that first road victory against the Detroit Lions, with famous Jameis throwing deep passes. And let's not forget he caught a pass with Derek Barnes and then broke the extended linebacker. Some guy that we just spent a bunch of money on to extend broke a tackle out of Derek Barnes. And I mean, Derek Barnes did break off his coverage to try and get it, so it's not entirely all his fault. It's just like, what a kick in the dick that play was. So, Abdul Carter, you know what? It is what it is. Not going to waste too much gray matter thinking about it with my smooth brain over here. Going to hit the oil can and then kick it on over to Sideline Report. Guys, let's go ahead and put our chin straps on. We got to buckle up because things are going to get a little obscene. Not obscene, just a little. It's just gonna get a little down and depressing. You know what I'm saying? What's up, James Willis? How you doing? Hit the like and subscribe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Good to see you, man. What's up, Carrie? How you doing, bro? Art Vanderlei, you're hanging out, dude. Missing Tim Patrick. Dude. Art. I had that very thought, dude. I was like, old Fireball Tim Patrick, Mr. Move the Sticks, and it's that thing that there are all these narratives that have followed Jared Goff throughout his career. He needs perfect coaching, needs perfect team around him, needs all the time in the pocket, can't play outdoors. I think the one thing that you will notice that is a clear-cut thing with Jared Goff, one true trait of Jared Goff, is, one, when he rolls out to his weak side and turns completely around, does a 360 around the left tackle, he's going to get sacked. And two, Jared Goff likes familiarity, right? Jared Goff wasn't unlocked with Detroit until we brought in Josh Reynolds, who flamed out in Tennessee, right? Once we brought in Josh Reynolds, Jared Goff took off. He then developed the chemistry with Amon-Ra, and you see how comfortable those two guys are together. Luckily, and this is trying to blow smoke directly up your ass and look for a silver lining in a pit of darkness, with Amon-Ra being out, we are blessed, and this is why I think TK85 got bumped up. This is why I think we won't see as much production out of Tesla, as much production out of the backup tight ends as one would project in a fantasy football setting, and that is Jared Goff just doesn't have the familiarity with these guys. He just doesn't have the exact timing down. He can't predict exactly how they're going to do it. Him and Amon-Ra had that connection. Thankfully, Jameson Williams seems to have developed a relatively good repertoire with Jared Goff, and they seem to be clicking a little bit more as especially this season progresses, almost knowing that they have to because of his contract, but also now with the uptick in production. And look, JMO, time to shoulder the load, brother. You know what I'm saying? Moving Tim should have meant Tesla was ready to go, in my opinion. Don't know what happened. You know, Jack, though, I do think Tesla is ready to go. I just don't think Tesla has had enough opportunities because of the pecking order and because of, I'm not trying to dogpile on the guy, but because of Johnny Moe. I don't think Johnny Moe was sold. I think Johnny Moe was so in love with Jahmyr Gibbs and throwing screen passes to Jameson Williams and so in love with speed that the development and I don't want to say urgency, but the maybe getting Tesla in there to steal some reps, get a little bit more seasoning with Goff, knowing what type of role he would be playing moving forward in the Lions. I mean, Brad Holmes did go after him in the draft. I think that when you watch Tesla play, when they go to him, typically he delivers. He just hasn't had the opportunity. Be it Khalif Raymond being healthy, be it Laporta still being healthy and eating up a lot of targets. There just wasn't much opportunity. Now, there are different dynamics to their game. Tesla did produce as a special teams, gunner here and there. And when thrown to in the end zone, most times he comes down with it, right? He's had a couple of beautiful fingertip catches week one against the Packers. And then he actually seems to love scoring touchdowns against the Packers. In 2 games, he scored 2 touchdowns against the Packers, and that's awesome. I just don't think the opportunities have been there. If he were in another situation, say he was in New England, say Tesla was drafted in the 3rd round to be a developmental player, right, as he was tagged because he wasn't all that flashy. Brad Holmes loved him, and I've already built that conversation on why Brad Holmes, when selecting players in later rounds of the draft, statistically has proven to be more successful than any other GM in recent history. Look at Puka Nacua, look at Cooper Kupp, look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now I'm projecting those same type of production onto, or at least the availability for production to be on Isaac Tesla. If Tesla had gone to like New England and he was just kind of thrust into that number 2 role, I think we'd all be talking about, the next coming of Jordy Nelson. You know what I'm saying? Something along those lines, because the ability to get the reps in with the number 1s to have more of a role forced upon him would have been there. This could all change in the next couple weeks. He's now put into that number 2 wide receiver spot. We could see think Amon-Ra's rookie year after he caught that touchdown against Minnesota that got us our first win in the Dan Campbell era. Maybe in this short little condensed back into the season with Amon-Ra being out, we see a production of Tesla. Maybe over the next 5 games, Tesla ends up bagging 350 to 500 yards. 500 yards is a lot. Okay, that's a 100-yard average. That's number 1 wide receiver numbers. But I'm saying there could be a game where he goes off 7 catches, 135. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he averages 50 to 75 yards per game over the span of Amon-Ra being out. There is that possibility, and I do think that from what I've seen, now I'm no professional scout. I am just a guy statistically inside of your phone that you guys are watching. My eyeball test says Tesla should be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'd peg him at like a 75, a 74 to 76, somewhere around there if we're talking Madden overall ratings. That's just my vibe on it. You know what I'm saying? How do you guys feel about it? One of the biggest things is missing. Most don't even realize how much we're missing him. Christian Mahogany, I know, Rick. O-line took a big hit when he went down. It hurt Deck and Graham both. Graham was already slipping. Deck was hanging on by a shoestring. And Awashika does neither of them any favors. He does neither of them either favors. We win this game if we can establish a run. Keep Goff someone upright. Mahomes gets sacked 3 times last week, so fingers crossed. You know, Art, and I am yesterday's poll, I think we are all in that same boat. Run the ball. David Montgomery. David Montgomery. David Montgomery. David Montgomery. If I was a reporter in the press pool today at the media, or whenever the questions are, and Dan Campbell called on me, I would just go, yeah, all right. David Montgomery, and he would look at me. What do you mean, man? I go, David Montgomery, 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 Monty. Might I introduce to you Monty? Use him. Use David Montgomery for sake. Trying to keep it as family friendly as we can. Sorry, I've been on another roof, but keep up the great work, man. Thank you, Mr. Detroit City. I figured you're out there grinding away, brother. Appreciate it, dude. I've gone through Brad Home drafts picks, Lions. He's around 50-50, but whiffed on the entire 24 class. So far. Yeah, so far. Broski, I would say that the biggest glaring whiff was Enos Rakestraw. As high as I was on him coming out, clearly availability is the best ability. I think TA could still turn it around, but yeah, dude, there's been some, especially that 24 class was kind of a whiff. Kind of a whiff. You're not wrong, dude. Kind of a whiff. I would run a 2-back set this game to keep linebackers honest, and also have extra blockers for Goff back there just in case. Art, and I think that we solve all of our blocking problems. I think we elevate the run game. We can go I formation. We can go offset I. Hell, we can go double running backs and shotgun. You got to make that. Look, guys, I am telling you, the move that needs to be made is Giovanni Manu needs to be playing fullback for the Detroit Lions. All right, Carrie, I see you and Broski, dude. You guys have been going back and forth all week, man. You know what I'm thinking, guys? I'm thinking I slide my body over and put this. I kind of like the image over here more so. I think that might help with some of the lighting stuff. See, the problem is, guys, I have such a face for radio. Such a face for radio. Dude, Mr. Detroit City, I'd take 44 at fullback before Manu. I loved, last year? I think it was last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago when Rodrigo, in a pinch, played fullback. I think Malcolm Rodriguez is, in my mind, when I think of a fullback, when I think of a build for a fullback, a tenacity, doesn't Malcolm Rodriguez just make you think of a more athletic Kyle Juszczyk? Just like the prototype utility back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, dude, you get some of these defensive guys slid over into the offensive side of the ball, dude. You see that mentality change quite a bit. How about just playing big American flag as your backdrop? Dude, Mr. Detroit City, I have tried many variations of having pro-American imagery in my background. I've had Gadsden flags. I've had American flag logos up before. The most that YouTube will let me get away with without completely squashing my channel is this right here. As long as it's just on my shirt, they seem to be okay with it. But if I put too much pro-American imagery out, it gets absolutely squashed. Now, the inverse to that was my Charlie Kirk video, but that was because it was a hot topic. Let's be honest. It had nothing to do with the pro-American imagery. It's because it was a hot topic. But yeah, if I put too much American imagery up, dude, YouTube squashes me, dude. It is unreal. It is unreal, but it's true. I'm just telling you, I can show you, like, the metrics are there. When I put pro-American imagery up, YouTube squashes me, dude. They do not like that shit. They do not like that shit at all. This is MAGA country. Exactly, Brandy. Well, that's the thing. And that's like why I am like so appreciative of you guys is that y'all are just like, yeah, bet 100%. Let's go. All right, so we've been chatting beard enough here. Terrion Arnold and the Lions training staff decided to let the second-year cornerback play on an injured shoulder after he had already missed time due to that affliction. After suffering a recent concussion, followed by inflaming that same shoulder injury, the defender is out for the year after opting to finally surgically repair that same shoulder. What was once seemingly season-ending injury for Arnold became just a bump he had to mend for a few weeks. And now we're back to square one regarding that same injury. Kirby Joseph, who had returned to play for the Lions' Week 6 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, also went from having a manageable knee injury to also seemingly being out for the year. I've been griping about that all season. Injuries pile up throughout the NFL season. It's a brute sport and a sport of attrition. Often only the healthiest teams by January are found making deep postseason runs. But after the 2024 riddled with injuries, one thing is clear with the Lions team. They must improve their work in rehabbing and reevaluating injured players moving forward to avoid situations they've now found themselves in with Arnold and Joseph. And you guys know me. I am one of the last people to come out and attack the Lions organization. But yeah, no, this is a major problem. Our ability to assess injuries and give these guys a clear-cut line to rehab and being back ready to go. Clearly, there is a big drop-off. Big drop-off. Something is not going well. Or we're leaving too much of it up to the players, in which case, yes, now I am all about having personal autonomy, but when you're an NFL player, you are bought and paid for, brother. You have to do what they tell you to do. If they tell you to shut it down, well, that sucks that you're going to miss out on all those active roster bonuses. Maybe you should have stretched more. I don't know. Or drink some milk. Lions find themselves back in 2024 position after major injuries. Arnold and Joseph are the two best protectors against the pass. I disagree, which leaves Detroit open to all sorts of vulnerabilities over the next 2 weeks. They have to host the Dallas Cowgirls in Week 14, a team bolstered by an MVP like Dakota Rain Prescott, in addition to his weapons in George Booger Pickens and CD I Fell on My Lamb. In Week 15, they don't get a break. They're facing off against Matthew Stafford and his big goofy white teeth, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and the Los Angeles Rams in that contest. This is going to potentially make or break their shot at the postseason, depending on how the Dallas game goes. But without Arnold and Joseph, it feels difficult to imagine Lions being able to contain Stafford in the air. Am I wrong, or do we just seem to be playing the Rams and Cowboys every single fucking year now? I feel like we've played them every single year the past 4 years. Frank Ragnow won't save the team from their massive Graham Glasgow problem. I thought about reading that today, but didn't feel like piling on Graham Glasgow. I mean, why kick a man when he's already down, at least at this point? Detroit has next to no depth at cornerback or safety positions left this season, save for some practice squad elevations that have contributed here and there. More so than here or there, they've contributed well above their pay scale. They will likely have to look to free agency and the draft to reshape these rooms, especially if Joseph's injury appears to be as bad as his latest social media break is letting on. Moving forward, fans have to be hoping that the staff becomes a bit more cautious about letting players continue to fight through injury. Arnold could have avoided an exacerbated shoulder injury had they simply advised him to get the surgery way back in Week 5. And I agree, especially because, if you think about it, the way that all shook out, it was TA is done for the year, TA is done for the year, and then, oh, nope, he'll be back in a week. Seemed a little fishy. And then it was, Laporte is going to go on IR for a little bit. He'll be back in 4 weeks. Nope, he's done for the year, having surgery. Kirby's knee's fine. He just needs a couple weeks here or there. Motherfucker, it's been the whole season. What's going on? And then we can also look to other guys who never quite made it back from rehabs. Obviously, Levi Onwuzurike never was quite rehabbed properly. Hopefully that at least we've seen proof in the pudding that Hutch's leg's going to be able to hold up, and so is Lee McNeil's knee. Look at, dare I say, Josh Paschal. Never quite able to get right. Now, part of this could go into what you guys have been saying. Maybe Brad needs to stop drafting hurt players. Yeesh. Do I say that? Did I say that out loud? I did say that out loud. Oh, wow. How we feeling, chat? Media wants rainbow-colored flags. Ain't that the truth, bro? Ain't that the truth? I shave my head every morning and rock a beard. America. I've thought about shaving my head, and I'm actually thinking, part of me thinks I need to shave my head to get the Lions to win, dude. I don't know, man. There's something I'm doing wrong. I agree about Tesla. Give him the chance. He will get the points. Hell yeah, Mom. I appreciate that. Maybe go grab him on some fantasy teams if you guys are looking for a sneaky little stash play over the next couple of weeks. Shout out vets. Shout out law enforcement. Hell yeah, Mr. Tracy. America makes YouTube work. Without the United States of America, YouTube would be bankrupt. Yes, it's used in other countries, but not like in the U.S. Rick, you might be right, though I think recently we've seen a huge uptick in Indian traffic. You know what I'm saying? We've proven the last 2 weeks we can't play man-to-man with our DBs without Kirby back there. Art, 100% Kirby Joseph. That's why I told you guys Kirby Joseph is the most... I said this early on in the season that Kirby Joseph is the most important player on our defense. He makes our entire defense work. Without Kirby Joseph just roaming back there, diagnosing, being able to quickly react to all types of plays. My guy can run from one sideline to the other to pick the pass off, dude. Kirby Joseph looming back there frees everyone up to be in man coverage. He is, as much as everyone loves, Brian Branch and Jack Campbell and Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby Joseph is the linchpin to our defense being successful. He's also the key cog in our takeaways and giving our offense extra opportunities to put points on the board. You can almost say that the correlation... You know what? I'm not saying causation equals correlation, but everybody says Ben Johnson is the drop-off in our offense. Did anybody ever stop to think that without Kirby Joseph stealing possessions every couple of games, that has taken significant amount of points and statistical production away from our offense? We have no turnovers on the year. Kirby's not back there taking away 2 picks a game, 2-3 games a year, right? He led the league in interceptions last year. Of course, we had a high-flying offense. We had way more possessions than everybody else because Kirby Joseph was back there. Without Kirby Joseph back there, very few takeaways, guys. Very few takeaways. Most of our injuries are friendly fire and our old linemen landing on each other. Dude, Art, you've noticed that too, bro. I had an American flag up in one of my videos from 3 years ago, and it got flagged for inappropriate content. And you're a vet. Beantown? You get it? You see what I'm saying? They hate it, dude. You guys, so the company I worked for, our last CEO, she was a DEI hire, okay? That was her whole thing. And she openly told people, I hate white people. I can't stand white men. We need to hire more black people here. She told my manager that the next maintenance technicians that will be hired will be black men, right? She no longer works there. But last September 11th, right, the tech that puts all the imagery up for on the digital boards and stuff for the public to see, he had a nice slideshow of 9/11 remembrance, and she told him to remove 3 slides from his slideshow. And all 3 of them, she said, they have the American flag in it, and I do not want that put up in my building. How fucked up is that, dude? And that building is funded by the taxpayer. We need more rock, you sin. The lightning is good. Lighting is good. It looks like you're having a fireside. Dude, thank you, Kane. That's what I was going for, brother. That's what's up, dude. Thank you, bro. And I'm a huge Rock Yassin fan, bro. Legit. We have at least 2 more wins with Kirby on the field. 100%. Would you rather draft interior lineman, or would you rather try and get one in free agency? Ooh, Beantown. Good question, brother. I would... Oh. Man, that's a good question, Beantown. You talking... What specifically would you rather... Interior lineman? Oh, man. All right, so we're going to grandma wagon that conversation. If we have a relatively solid shot at drafting a rock star defensive end... then you pay for interior offensive linemen, because paying for guards is less than paying for defensive ends. Now, if there is a high-flying defensive end that you can get for a relatively solid price that we are sold on, right? We are sold on that being the guy, then you pay the money for him and you draft interior offensive line. Personally, I think we've had relatively good success with the last two of our, heavily relied upon interior offensive linemen. Yes, there's the Colby Sorsdahl. We have yet to see how Miles Frazier works out. But I do think that Mahogany is a really good offensive lineman who will eventually, over the next year, once he gets back healthy, turn into a potential cusp second-team all-pro type player. And I think Ratledge, you guys know how I feel about Ratledge. I was so high on Tater Ratledge coming to the draft. I told you guys day 2 in our live show that we had to walk out of day 2 with Tate Ratledge, and that's exactly what we did. I think Tate Ratledge has all of the upside in the world to be a all-pro right guard for 10, 12 years in the NFL. I really do. Yes, there are growing pains his rookie year. Hank Fraley's going to hammer that shit out, though, in the offseason. It's going to get absolutely locked down. You're going to see a monster right guard in Tate Ratledge next year. That's what I think, Beantown. You forgot to ask if you saw the James O'Keefe and Alex Jones stuff. Oh, shit. Dude, no, I haven't seen that yet, but I will check it out, dude, because I love James O'Keefe's work, bro. Lions are ass. Well, that's fair. Appreciate it, Jeremy Ed. Or is it Jeremy? It would be Jeremy, wouldn't it? If then Jones drops the news. Randall L is a bigger loss than Benny, you think? That, I did like Randall L, but I do like Scotty Montgomery as our wide receivers coach. I think he adds a little bit of edge to the wide receiver room. America's the world's largest consumer of pretty much everything. 47 proved that 100%. They'll be biting ass tomorrow. I hate the woke shit. I'm sorry the Lions aren't beating the Cowboys. That's okay, dude. Jeremy, dude, you don't have to apologize for having it. Okay, I'll be honest. You came in a little hot with the Lions are ass, and now that could be taken as you're a Lions fan who was like, dude, my team is ass, or you're just coming in kind of being a dick. You know what I'm saying? You could take it either way. We also, though, Jeremy, I will say, welcome to the Mad Hatter Nation. We hate the woke shit too. But you don't need to apologize, bro. If you think that the Cowboys are going to beat the Lions, that's fine, bro. We're not one of those channels that's going to be like, oh, fuck this guy, you fucking asshole. No, dude, that's totally fine, brother. Honestly, there is probably an easier path to victory for the Cowboys to win than there are for the Lions. If we're really going to put assholes to elbows, they have a better offense, they have an aggressive defense, and they are hot right now. The Lions are cold right now. This is a make or break game for both teams. It's going to be hopefully a good. I'm hoping that this is one of the good Thursday night games that we finally get. You know what I'm saying? Fun fact: Tristan Riff's contract is up at the end of the season. Ooh, Beantown and Taylor Decker should be retiring. You say? Okay, Beantown. So you're saying that the Lions and the Patriots are going to get into a bidding war for our boy Tristan Riffs? And pack up and fuck, I know it's forcing you to stay in the U.S. Rosie could probably use a roommate. No shit, Rick, dude. Hell yeah. What's up, Riley? Good morning, brother. Good to see you, dude. What's up, man? I'm glad you're here, dude. Let's talk about Dan Campbell's George Washington. Yeah. Damn, Jeremy. I never. Dude, you actually got me laughing on that one, dude. His George Washington teeth. That's funny. I think 9 is the Oh, Jeremy, are you a Vikings fan, bro? Look, if you're a Vikings fan, that's fine, dude. I though thought you guys, if you are a Vikings fan, and I'm just gonna say we, just because I'm assuming, I thought the Vikings made a huge mistake when they let Sam Darnold go. I don't think that McCarthy is the ticket. Or are you saying Matt Stafford as number 9? Jeremy's trolling. That's fine. Because you're smart and understand objectives, I enjoy the channel. Courtesy of Brandy. Yeah, dude, shout out. Thank you, Riley. That's very nice of you to say. And yeah, Brandy, dude, she does fucking heavy lifting for. Brandy, you got to have quads this fucking big around for all the heavy lifting you do for my channel, dude. Legit. They just made me feel better about actually having a life. No requirement for being a troll is lack of life. I don't know, man. I don't think he was being that trolly. Jeremy, I don't know, man. I don't think you were being that trolly, dude. Bro, what is this handle? 2001 Toyota Tundra. It's over for them. Let rest prepare for the next season. Fire Morton, tell Brad to draft needs instead of wants, and get back in the playoffs. 2001 Toyota Tundra. Dude, why do I think that's so funny, bro? Your handle's cracking me up. Look, man. I'm probably I'm going to be very Tim Pool right now, dude. I'm going to sit on this fence. I am as 50-50 as you can get on the season, right? And I hate to say that it really comes down to this game. If we win, we can still fight our way into the playoffs. If we lose, then there's no point. Then you start shutting guys down because there's no point. Yes, 4-1, we can still back our way into blah, blah, blah. You never want to. If you lose to the Cowboys, the momentum's gone. The energy's gone. The season's pretty much lost. I don't disagree. Prepare for next season. Get some of your younger guys some reps. See what you got. And 100%, you got to fire John Morton. Johnny, no screens, needs to absolutely go. 2001 Toyota Tundra. I don't know why that's so funny to me, dude. I don't know why that's so funny to me, dude. Can we give a shout out to all those? Well, I will give the Packers fans one of these. You can't see it because it's behind the screen. I just realized that. Nacho is the best QB on his own team's roster. The stupid Somalian Kwesi out GM. He's ass. Oh, dude. So that makes sense, dude. He's Somali, huh? A bit of a problem up there in Minnesota with the Somalis running wild, you know. First, they came for the gypsies, and I said nothing because I am not a gypsy. Then they came for the Somalis, and I said, get all of the Somalis. Johnny Blow, gotta go. Johnny Mo screens. Johnny no screens. All right, guys. So speculation. I think we all seen this. We talked about it a little bit. Speculation that Kirby was going to be out for the whole season because some online sleuths. It's time to stop listening to people who may have medical degrees but have never seen or treated a player and made a very public diagnosis based on a tiny snippet from Dan Campbell's press conference. It's wildly irresponsible to do so, and clearly people believe it and then start to talk to Joseph on Twitter about it, how his career is over, and how the Lions need to find a way out of his contract. As for Joseph's status on Thursday's game of the Cowboys, we don't know yet. He returned to practice on Monday with a knee brace and then missed Tuesday's practice. We'll see what happens when the game designations come out. As for now, missing Tuesday's practice is not considered a setback by the Lions or by Joseph. So do we think Kirby Joseph's going to give it a go, guys, or is he going? Does Kirby Joseph give it a go? And if he does, are we gambling with turning Kirby Joseph's knee into RG3's knee? You know what I'm saying? Is that what we're dealing with? Are we dealing with a little bit of what could be a problem in the long term? This is a must-win game for you, and 100% is. A loss would all but put you and the outside looking in the playoffs. There isn't enough games left for you guys in. I know, Beantown, dude. That's the thing, brother, is that we have to win. We have to win. I've said we have to win out. We have to. There are no losses. We cannot have a loss between now and the Super Bowl. Period. Point blank. And it's getting a little upsetting. A little nervous not being in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? This is an important game. I'm sure the Lions will win, but they need to use Monty more. Mom, preach. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Might I introduce to you David Montgomery? David Montgomery? David Montgomery. Maybe I should just dress up as David Montgomery. Then maybe people will know to use him. Bears fan poultries. I feel about the Bears. They are overrated. Ben Johnson is a bigger pussy than anyone I have ever seen. Hey, Jeremy. I like that take. And by the way, Jeremy, just so you know, around here, his name is Osama Ben Johnson. Small PP Osama Benedict Arnold Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City. That's what his name is here. There's a lot of titles, and he is a basic shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then some. Thinking I was being retarded and stop going for it on fourth down. We get it. Your nutsack is huge. All right. That's funny. Rather know this year than next year. Kirby's knee is too bad to continue. Give Lions time to get the replacement. Damn, Jack. So you're kind of out on him, huh? Have to win. You have to. Yeah, it is a 100% 100% we have to win. You know what I'm saying? We 100% have to win this game, guys. Running low on time. Amon-Ra doing better, but misses another day of practice. Let's go ahead and pause this. After a devastating Thanksgiving holiday weekend for the Lions, fans are desperately trying to find anything that could give them hope during the final stretch, such as the news that wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown's ankle injury isn't as bad as initially seemed. St. Brown injured his ankle during the Lions Packers game. Still, the door is open for St. Brown to play on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowgirls. How wide open is the door? After missing a second day of practice, possibly not as wide as the Lions are hoping. Head coach Dan Campbell spoke to the media on Tuesday and provided the latest update on St. Brown's status. Quote, "He's getting better. He's getting better. That's the best way to say it. But I don't see him practicing today. You know, he is better. So I know this. But if he can play, he will play. That's the best way to say it." That's very ominous. Lions senior writer and insider Tim Twentyman asked St. Brown directly about his status. The wide receiver echoed Campbell's sentiment that his ankle is getting better. The status for Thursday will depend on if he can stop and cut like he needs to. Personally, I think you just let it shut down. Ankle injuries on this important of a player, that's a very important joint at that position. I'd say he's probably going to miss it. It's Mr. Ed's brother. That's funny. You know, a current live show is filled with rainbow trolls, and it's not this one. The show rocks. Yeah, dude. We don't get a lot of them rainbow warriors around here. Yeah, they don't like coming around here too much. Ain't like I ain't got nothing, you know, not like I'm going to sit here and just like dog them, but look, I like to say the words retarded and gay. I'm a child of the 90s. Was born in 88. What do you expect? Shit's retarded and gay. And just remember, guys, while we're on the topic of retarded and gay, all gun laws are fake and gay. We're going to finish today up with a little bit of a uptick notebook. He's fearless. Lions could continue to lean on JMO. Let's go. I'm about to go JMO. I was about to start a chant. Go JMO. Go Gadget JMO. Let's go. Well, I like that. Go Gadget JMO. With all-pro wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown's status for Thursday's night game versus Dallas unclear after suffering an ankle injury last week and the loss to Green Bay. The Lions once again could lean on Jamison Williams to step up and be their number one receiving threat against the Cowgirls. Williams filled in nicely last week after St. Brown left just 9 minutes into the Thanksgiving Day contest. Williams finished with 7 receptions on 10 targets for 144 yards and a tuggery-doo. It's not quite enough to get us there. I just got more opportunities, Williams said last week's career high performance. That was it. I just executed on the opportunities. I should have did it more. We came out with a loss. What I did doesn't even matter because we lost. Damn, dude. The maturity of JMO. The Lions will be looking for more of the same from Williams this week against the Dallas defense that ranks 31st in points allowed, 29th in total defense, and 30th against the pass. Dallas has the league's number 1 offense and number 2 scoring offense. He's really grown, and he continues to grow and get better, Lions head coach Dan Campbell said on Tuesday of the confidence he has in Williams to step up and play a big role. He's fearless. His fundamentals for the speed and quickness he has and the ability for him to drop his weight. Now and there's really some detail into his route. He's become a hard cover. Then you see the run after the catch ability. His confidence is growing. Our confidence is growing. He's doing well. You should have seen him running Monday. This guy works now. He works in every practice, every day, and love where he's at. There's one play from last week's contest Williams said he wanted back, and that was the 4th and 3 play in the fourth quarter. The Lions were trying to mount a comeback. Quarterback Jared Goff threw the ball a little behind Williams on a crossing route, and it bounced off of Williams' hands incomplete. Immediately after the game, Goff held himself accountable for the ball's placement on the throw to Williams, but Williams offered a different perspective talking to reporters this week, saying if the ball hits his hands, no matter the location, he must catch it. And might I introduce you to the Jugs machine? It's a drop. That's why I really did all that after the play, Williams said. No matter where the ball is at, as a receiver, you got to make a play. And the blame don't go on the quarterback. It goes on us, and that's not even putting it down on my quarterback. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying it's my fault because I dropped the ball. He gave me the opportunity. I just got to go and make the best of the opportunity and move the sticks for us. I moved the sticks right there. It could have been a whole different game changer for us. It was a big play to me. No matter what happened in the game before that, you just got to go look at that play right now. And I just got to make the best of that play and bring that one in for us. Man. Detroit will host the Cowboys in Week 14, Thursday Night Football. That carries a significant playoff implication for the Lions at 7-5 and the Cowboys at 6-5-1, holding to the 8th and 9th spots, respectively, in the NFC playoffs picture. Williams said there's more urgency to stack some wins together with that calendar flipping to December and the stretch run for the playoff hunt upon us. Quote, "We've got more urgency to win these last games," he said. "Win out, do our job, and get in the playoffs, and do our thing." I think, look, win out. You see that? You see that? You see that, guys? I'm telling you, they watch my channel. JMO watches my channel. JMO, if you're listening, brother, drop a like, dude. Go ahead and give me a little bit of a hype up, right? JMO, shout me out, dude. I know you watch this, brother. I shout you out, dude. Come on, JMO, let's go. And in other news, obviously, you guys, Terrion Arnold going to IR. We know that, going to have surgery to repair that shoulder. The Lions added Hayden Rucci to the roster for some tight end depth with Sam Laporta currently on IR and Brock Wright currently dealing with a neck injury that makes him sidelines. The Lions did get some good news this week regarding their tight end depth. The team opened the practice window for veteran Shane Zylstra, who's been out since week 2. And Shane Zylstra, you know, Mr. Shane 3 touchdowns Zylstra against the Carolina Panthers. Let's not forget. Mr. Shane Zylstra himself reminds me a lot of Tony Scheffler. You know what I'm saying? How we doing, chat? We're going to take one last walk through here. Mad Hatter Nation, St. Brown can have my ankles. Toyota Tundra. Guys, you know what? Let's just all take up a collection so that he can have ankles on ankles on ankles. And we can just change that fucker out and put on a new ankle. You know what I'm saying? Just pit stop. Give him. I'll donate my ankles. Toyota Tundra, you can donate your ankles. That's 4 ankles, right? That's 4. He can change one out every quarter. Yeah, 2 of those quarters he'll have the wrong foot on, but you know what? It might work out just the same. He's St. Brown, dude. Cowboys Super Bowl contenders, I think we need to give Jerry his flowers. You know, Jeremy? Maybe. like, you know, we all joke about Jerry Jones. My eyes aren't too far apart. But somehow he's with Brian Schottenheimer, with Javonte Williams, no money to spend in free agency, dealing away Micah Parsons, right? Making these moves at the trade deadlines is kind of confusing, but somehow, some way, Jerry's kind of putting it together, making at least a push for a playoff spot. Do you watch the latest Tucker and Piers Morgan interview? I did, dude. I did, actually. I did. Where Piers Morgan's like, but the food, but I like curry. I like curry. Piers Morgan lives in a 99.7% white neighborhood. To try to say I've seen some of the clips. So, Jeremy, you're a Trump guy, dude? Hell yeah, brother. Welcome to Mad Hatter Nation. Lions are a bunch of liberals. Partially, yes, dude, you're not wrong, but that is the demographic of Detroit. That's why Michigan is always going to the blue team, because Detroit ends up screwing the entire rest of us over. Because Wayne County comes in and just shits in all of our hats, and then we get people like Alyssa Slotkin. Hooray. 2A is the only constitutional gun law. The all others are violations of 2A. Rick, I fucking love you, dude. Shall not be infringed. That's why I say all gun laws are fake and gay, you guys. You're crazy as fuck. Yeah. Hey, man, you know what, dude? I'll give you. I wouldn't say Jeremy's crazy, dude. I think he's adding a little spice to the sauce, dude. I kind of like it, dude. Teeny Weeny Johnson, hell yeah, Carrie. Lions are a bunch of liberals, and the refs would help them more. Ooh, Jack, hey, okay. The Lions might be liberals, but I don't think Dan Campbell is. The meritocracy and the pro-masculinity that he projects and instills and wants out of his players, I think, does kind of flip that on its head. JMO should go gamble and get suspended again. Nah, dude, we need JMO to be lighting it up. He said he would not let his baby hit the ground all season. Well, you know, it is what it is. My mom agrees with Rick. Hell yeah, not doing great, Hat. Need a big win tomorrow. Derek, hope you're doing okay, man. I hope you mean the Lions and not you, dude. If you're not doing great, brother, I hope it turns around for you, man. Legit, dude. That's unfortunate, dude. But yeah, the season's not going great, dude. We could all use a little kick in the ass, a little wind to puff our chests out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'd give Kirby my knees, but they are worse than his, dude. I don't think Kirby would like my knees either, dude. They sound like snap, crackle, and pop. All three of them when I be moving around. He doesn't want my ankles. We're all a bunch of broke down blue collar guys. Stage 5 cancer has above a game. Cancer, he's above a game. Hell yeah, beat stage 5. Damn, dude, I didn't realize that, dude. That's wild. Are different levels. They are different levels. Well, that's because his eyes are too far apart. His eyes are too far apart, and they shifted his ear placement. Or he's an alien. Piers, just say it. Yeah, just say it, Piers. Exactly. Just say it. Learn how to write with a hammer and chisel. Dude, legit, Beantown. He is fucking old as shit, bro. Cowboys aren't Super Bowl contenders. They're playoff contenders. They just make the NFL a lot of money. They hate JJ, but love the revenue. Rick, you're not. I don't disagree with that, actually, brother. I don't disagree with that. You're doing great. All right, Derek, cool. As long as you're doing good, man. You mean the Lions on for sure, bro. I just wanted to make sure you were doing good, dude. I don't want you being like, not doing great. What's wrong? I cut my leg off with a fucking chainsaw earlier this morning, sitting in the ER. I got a fucking tourniquet on, dude. Not doing so great. Not going to be winning any ass-kicking contest, you know? Just suppress Lamb because they become one-dimensional. Kerry, yes and no. In Lamb's absence, though, you know, they do have, Jake Ferguson, pretty decent tight end, and George Booger Pickens actually did step up in Lamb's presence or absence. I think the Lions should pick up Carl Nassib. I hope they don't pick up Carl Nassib, dude. I would really prefer not to have him. Our team is on the fritz 100%. Jerry would accept some dinger pills instead of flowers. Jerry Blue Chew, him and Billy Blue Chew are best friends. Would you guys draft a center next year and let Ratledge go to center? Ooh, Toyota Tundra. That's a good question, and that's something that I'm willing to bet the coaches are going to have to answer. What is the plan with Tate Ratledge? Because originally we wanted to try him at center, right? That was the plan, mini camp, training camp a little bit, and it just didn't quite pick up for him. Maybe the plan is to move him to center. I don't know, man. I wanted us to go after Jackson Powers Johnson at the trade deadline. That's what I wanted us to do. If a guy like him is available, I think the Lions go and just sign a natural center and let Ratledge continue to play at his natural position, the right guard. That's just my take on it. If there's a guy, real rock solid guy out there, or even a relatively reasonably priced free agent, I'd rather go after that than move Ratledge over. I think Ratledge playing alongside Penei Sewell, at least for the first year or two of his career, is the best way to condition him to be an absolute monster at the right guard spot. The NFL does just enough to keep the Cowboys relevant. They'll never win another Super Bowl. That might be. I live in California. How could I be? A bunch of pink-haired wackos. Dude, you got to get out, dude. Hey, man, you got to get out. And while you're on your way out of California, grab my buddy Marcus and his wife. I'm trying to get them over here, dude. Trying to get them back to Michigan. Get them the fuck out of that goddamn communistic shithole. I want Mahogany to go to center. Do you think Mahogany could play center, Jack? If that were the case, I'm actually kind of wondering if that maybe is the plan. If so, you know, we do have three players that the coaching staff is high on: Ratledge, Mahogany, and let's not forget Miles Frazier. Is Miles Frazier projected to be an interior spot, or is he slotted to maybe be? You know, we do have some developmental pieces for the tackle spot between Manu and Frazier. Yeah, I don't know, man. Stop and grab me from Utah. Hell yeah, Riley. You want? Oh, dude, Riley, you're out in Utah? No shit, dude. See, this is crazy, man. I always just assume you guys are all in Michigan. Have I seen Dan Campbell's OnlyFans? No. Have you seen my OnlyFans? It's hat and meat. Oh, man. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today. We talked about Abdul Carter being suspended. We talked about TA going to IR. We talked about Kirby Joseph's goofy fucking knee situation. And, well, it's been a little bit of frustration for me all season long with Kirby Joseph. You guys know how high I'm on Kirby Joseph. We talked about Amon-Ra's ankle and whether he's going to be able to go or not. And then we finish on a high note talking about how good Jameson Williams could be with the uptick in production heading his way. Leave Rad alone and bring in a true NFL center, veteran free agent preferably, but not likely. Rick, that's where I'm at. That's why I wanted us to get old Jackson Powers Johnson. Mahogany 6'3" should be easier for him. Oh, I didn't realize Mahogany, and this is crazy because, you know, I'm 6'3". I was like, I didn't realize he was only 6'3". I thought Mahogany was a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, putting him at center makes a perfect little stump right there. You know what I mean? Just a little stumply little bastard right in the middle, dude. Does MCDC do feet on his OF? I don't know, man. I don't know. Meek Robertson is a pussy? Nah. Meek Robertson's the man. Frank was just the tease. I highly doubt he'll be back. I do too. I don't think Frank will want to come back. He was off for almost a whole year, and he still couldn't get healthy. There is a funny meme that somebody made where they turned Frank Ragnow around running back into the tunnel, and I thought that was pretty fucking funny. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I appreciate each and every one of you who bothered to drop a comment and leave your opinion here on the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below if you're watching this afterwards. Share this video around with all your friends. And if you think about it tomorrow, come on back by. Drop a hype on this video. It's the best way to get this content pushed out to people. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until tomorrow at 10 a.m., bonga bonga. Frig off.